Hey everyone, I'm Christine Gritmon and I'm here with Social. I do this show every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time on Facebook Live, where I talk to one of my many wonderful smart friends in social media about social media. And today I actually have my fellow social media strategist, George Damanis on of Uptempo Social. Hey George, how you doing?
Hey, Christine, glad to be here. How are you?
Good. Did I pronounce your last name right? I suck with that.
Damanis, but yeah, that's
Damanis.
all right. Damanis.
Damanis, potato.
Yep.
All right, so George Potato.
Yeah.
So we're not like 23, right? So neither of us started out as a social media strategist in our lives here, because that didn't exist when we were kiddos. Hey, Mary. Hey, Tim. But you have had a more interesting journey than many. Like a lot of people, maybe they spent a lot of time in traditional social media and not social media, in traditional marketing. And then they wound up, incorporating social media when that became a thing. But you have a very different path. Like you didn't start out in marketing at all. And I just wanted to share your story with everyone. And I'm going to talk a little bit about mine as well. But let's hear how your various experiences towards becoming on the road to becoming a social media strategist have informed how you do what you do.
Yeah, well, never, ever thought I would be in marketing, be a marketer, be in any facet of the sales process. And we had pardon my voice. I got a little cold from
How
my
dare
wife and
you?
child.
How dare you?
I know. But so yeah, I never thought I would be a marketer. Ended up my original when I was in high school, I thought I would be an actor turned director. When
Oh.
yeah, I then enlisted in the Coast Guard, and after 9/11, my entire life's journey was to become an FBI special agent.
Wow. I
And I
could
was
see that actually.
and I actually did interview with them. I was making it to the phase 2 interview when the 2013 budget sequester happened and everything got cut. So that there was
Wow.
that whole thing. But yeah, I never thought that I would. I tried sales once upon a time, and was basically another lifetime. I when I was a college student, I tried selling life insurance, and I was New York State licensed and everything like that for life, and I hated it. I hated sales. I hated commission
Mhm.
sales. I
Yeah.
hated
How did you
outside
wind up in
sales.
life insurance?
Uh, I got picked up by the. Is my sound coming okay? Just clipped
Yeah.
off.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I hear you fine.
All right, cool. So yeah, basically I got spammed by monster.com.
Hmm.
They cut out I had my resume, and there's a stack of resumes that they were just going through and calling everybody, and they got me with the, hey, we want to put you in our management training program.
Oh yeah, I've gotten those calls from recruiters, and a lot of times, if you're not sure what exactly you're doing right now,
Yeah, and
sometimes
you
it's
know
like,
what?
why not?
I forgot to turn on my key light. I'm sorry. So how's that? Better?
Much
Um,
better.
nice. So we had, but yeah. Um, so I was, I guess that's the closest thing to marketing experience that I had. I'm a veteran. I was in the Coast Guard for 15 years. I was stationed in San
I want to
Diego,
hear more
and
about that part of your journey as well.
all right. I enlisted in July, July of 2001.
Mhm,
I was funny story. I enlisted as a reservist,
mhm.
and while I was in boot camp, I got selected to be in the Presidential Honor Guard
Oh wow.
and to be stationed in DC and do all that thing. So and then when they were cutting my orders, they found out that I was a reservist, and they're like, "No, you can't go. You're a reservist." I'm like,
Mhm.
"I'll sign up. I'll sign up. Like this is like a huge honor." And they're like, "No, too late." So yeah, so I went into the reserve, and I was stationed out in Long Island
Mhm.
at Station Eaton's Neck in Northport,
Mhm.
and then
And
I
I
graduated
forget, were you already a Long Islander at that point?
from Queens, but yeah.
Okay, so close enough. So you weren't super far from home.
No, I mean that was one of the closer that was one of the closer stations that had a billet for me,
Yeah.
the position. And So yeah, so I graduated boot camp September 7th, 2001. September 11th was my second day on duty.
Oh, wow.
I was prior to enlisting, I was an EMT, and I volunteered with an ambulance corps in Bayside, New York, out of Fort Taunton. Um, and I was working as a transport EMT for North Shore.
Hmm.
And my CO, I remember, came to me. It was my second day on duty. He came to me and said, "Can you be more help there than you are here?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Well, sir, yeah, it's my second day. I don't know anything here. I've been an EMT for a while." So 20 years old, went to Ground Zero and did some rescue operations there.
Thank you.
Thanks. And uh, came back 15, went on active duty, got off active duty. 15 years later, my body couldn't take it anymore, just
Yeah,
tired, and it comes with age. So I got out happily with my, I have a wonderful wife who's a prosecutor in Manhattan. My son is 3, and um, got to spend my weekends with them rather than drilling. So
yeah.
better team.
So
But yeah,
then when you left, what did you intend to do when you left?
law enforcement, federal law
Hmm.
enforcement. I always knew I'd be an amazing detective, but a horrible cop.
Hmm.
So, so I never wanted
That
to be,
works.
yeah, I never wanted to be like a patrolman.
Hmm.
The guys who do that are fantastic, and the ones that are really great at it are amazing at it. But I never wanted to, like, I felt like I already had I put in my time on the beat, being
Hmm.
enlisted, and I have a very analytical mind, and I'm very good at problem solving. So I always wanted to be like a detective, and the FBI was like the natural fit for me. So I was trying to get into that.
Tim wants to know if you have an FBI jacket.
I do not have an FBI jacket, Tim.
Oh.
No, I do not. I have all my gear that has letters on it are all USCG.
Ah.
That stands for U.S. Coast Guard, Tim, for the guys on the other side of the pond. But so we have. Oh, you're welcome, Tim. Appreciate that. So we had what do you call it? Yeah, I was trying to go into law enforcement, stuff like that. My master's is in criminal justice, so completely not anywhere like that. But I got off active duty in 2010, and 2010 we were just coming out of the recession, and there wasn't much hiring going on, and I ended up working like 5 part-time jobs at one point.
Hmm.
And my wife was in law school at Villanova down in PA, and we had it was a good time for her, hard time for me. And I started doing food blogging, doing a
How
restaurant.
did you pivot to that from law enforcement?
So I was always, when I was in college, I was an English major, and I
Hmm.
was always very good at creative writing and
Sounds like communications is a common thread between all of these things,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. So I was doing creative writing. I was doing a lot of uh, short stories and things like that. I'm like 8 or 10 chapters into a novel, an action thriller novel that
Ooh.
I've been in 8 to 10 chapters into
Tim's
that for
gonna
the
pounce
last.
on that. Has Tim talked to you about publishing it?
No, but I'm like I haven't worked on it in years. I've been
Yeah.
8 to 10 chapters deep for like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So
And now
uh
you're having a second kid. Good
I'm
job.
having it. Yeah, yeah. The book's not happening.
Yeah.
We have yeah. So communications and training. I was when I was on active duty. I was the training petty officer and the assistant operations officer at Station San Diego, and we have so communications, writing, and training were all like kind of my go-to. I wrote everybody's departing awards, which was really funny because I never got a departing award when I left San Diego because
Aw.
nobody was around to write mine.
Aw.
So we had I started food blogging because my best friend was doing it,
Hmm.
and I actually won an award from the company, and
Wow.
and then the company got shut down because they weren't
Oh.
making enough money.
So you weren't your own food blog. You blogged
No,
for
no,
an
no.
existing website.
Yeah, it was called eatingeverywhere.com. It started
Mhm.
off as eatingnewyork.com, and then they started getting people all over the place and
I was a
changed it.
food writer for a little bit as well, and it's interesting because food is one place where social media took off very bigly.
Bigly. Yeah, you know what?
So
My
kind of
wife
makes
loved
sense.
it. It was her favorite thing that I did because we got to go out and eat.
Yeah. Of course. Although she couldn't touch her food until you like took a picture of it. And like you asked her how it tasted, what she thought of things, can you have a bite, right?
What's really funny is because of that job is why I got into social media.
Yeah.
I didn't have an Instagram account. I came from the mindset I had Friendster.
Around what year was this?
I got off active duty in 2010, so it was 2010.
Okay.
Late 2010.
Friendster. Oh, I loved Friendster.
So
like
in
2003, 2004.
yeah, in college I had in college I was on Friendster
Mm-hmm.
to keep up with all my buddies in the Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't really do much with it. And then I met Katie, my wife,
Mm-hmm.
and she was really big into MySpace.
You didn't meet her on Friendster, right?
I did not meet her on Friendster. No, we worked together.
Greg and I met each other in the MySpace era too. I remember stalking his MySpace profile before our first date.
Yeah, you told me that. So what's really funny is I didn't have MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything, and Facebook actually started rolling out to the Facebook started rolling out to the colleges,
Mm-hmm.
and I did have the Facebook, but I didn't do anything with it because I liked Friendster.
Yeah.
So Katie was telling me you got to go on MySpace. How come you're not on MySpace? So I signed up for MySpace, and she's like, "How come your profile isn't about me?" So I had to freaking learn HTML, and I made this whole like goofy what do you call it? Shrine to my then girlfriend. and yeah, it was ridiculous. And there was like love songs and hearts, and it was completely facetious.
Oh, that is hilarious.
And she hated it. But we had so there was, and then but because I started doing the food blogging,
Mm-hmm.
I got Twitter, and it was called I called myself Food Lurker because one of my nicknames when I was in the Coast Guard was Lurker, because all of a sudden I was just there. People turn around and I was like behind them, and they're like, so like,
you're not in Nyack right now, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm still here in Long Island. But no, yeah. So it was the Food Lurker, which I changed to @Damanis.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Instagram too, because I'm Instagramming. Hey, look at this meal I'm about to eat.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into. I actually attribute, although that didn't amount to much, I attribute that to me getting into social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, once that website shut down, my best friend who got me that job was also an editor for a financial news, an online financial news company.
Again, communications. If you can communicate in various media about various things.
So that was another part-time job that I had. They hired me part-time. I was a staff writer.
Mm-hmm.
And from there they brought me on full-time year or two later, and I became a financial news reporter. Now I'm a financial news editor. And then got into their social media, and that's sort of where I really like to live. And from there, I went through the whole trying to find a better job phase a few years ago, and I kept being the runner-up. I interviewed with Bloomberg, CNBC, and a few other notable financial news agencies, and all of them I was like the runner-up and the first loser. And a buddy of mine who one day met up with me, and I thought he was going to offer me a job, goes, "Why don't you start your own agency?" And the first word out of my mouth was an expletive, because I knew the moment he said that, the seed was planted, and I was going to go all in on it. And I knew how frustrating it was going to be for me, and I knew how much of a test it was going to be to my will and how, what I'm going to be putting my family through.
Yeah. And your wife was out of law school by this point, right?
Yeah. My wife was already a prosecutor. Yeah.
That is really, really key.
Yeah. I mean,
I know I had that experience as well, where I would not have been able to take the leap into entrepreneurship if my husband didn't have like the job, Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. I mean that's the story of how I started Uptempo Social. I named it something else, but as it turned out, when I didn't do a good Google search on the name, and although there was no trademark, there was an LLC in Texas that had the same name.
Was it called Simply Social Media New Mexico?
No, it wasn't.
Was it called The Real Team Us?
Is Chad up in here?
I don't think he is.
So no, I ended up I had to change it, and uptemposocial.com was available. The Facebook @Uptempo Social for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. They were all available. So I snagged up everything, got a designer to do my logo.
Uptempo Social.
So originally I had the first company's name was uh, had to do with momentum,
Hmm.
and I wanted to sort of keep that same like because that was where I was mentally. I wanted things to move
Yeah,
forward
moving
quickly,
forward, momentum,
and
getting up there.
I'm a musician,
Ah,
and
there you go.
the logo
More
that I
talents just keep coming out, and you just toss them in there like an aside, dude.
so
You're an
the
onion, just these layers.
uh, ogres have layers, onions have layers. What about parfaits? Parfaits have layers. So the
You're more of a
Albrecht.
parfait than an ogre.
Yeah. So in my head, I had the logo was an Albrev, which is the music note for the symbol in when you're writing music for up tempo, and that
Mm,
was sort of where I wanted it. The designer who did my logo did not make an Albrev, but
man,
I really, you know what? 2017 was all about because it was my first full year out of not being in the military and being a civilian again. And
hmm
2017 was all about transforming myself and
yeah,
conforming and challenging the things that I'm comfortable with.
hmm
And so purple and fuchsia are not in my color scheme. My favorite color is red.
good color.
Uh, yeah, my favorite color is red, you know, and blue, and I like blacks and stuff like that. And the it was all about challenging myself. So I grew a beard, which I shaved. I grew
I
my
still see some beardage.
well, I mean, I shaved last week. I'm gonna shave again today.
Hmm
I grew my hair out and stuff like that. It was all about challenging myself and things that I was comfortable with. So I went with somebody else's idea for my logo, which I love. Somebody else's color schemes, which I love my logo,
hmm
and
That's a good logo.
I appreciate that. And yeah, so 2017 was all about, you know, changing. And the main reason I really went forward with Uptempo Social is because of that mentality that I put myself into before this was even a consideration.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad I have because I've met some incredible people like yourself and Jen Herman and pretty much all the Queenies
And Caitlin and Amy, who are right
Caitlin,
there on
Amy,
the
Kim Lewis.
Mary.
I mean, we could just go through and name like all of my friends, but like,
Yeah.
you know, like I've met some
It's gonna sound like
incredible
Mambo
people.
number 5 up in here.
I've met some incredible people in this space, and it's really interesting the paths and roads that we take to finally get onto the path that we are meant to be traveling. And I fully believe that this is what I'm meant to do. All of my experiences in the past have led me to this moment, and they've made me a more receptive and better suited to for my clients' needs because of my previous experience.
I love that. Now, what exactly does Uptempo Social do? Who do you work with, and what do you do for them?
So
Or at least, what's your
currently,
goal? At least.
so currently I have a very small team.
Hmm
We are under 5 employees.
hmm
There's a total of 3 of us on the team, and we have
Did you
I'm
start out with a team, or did it start out just you and you expanded?
no, it's all me. No,
So you're
I mean,
so
for the
you're telling us that there are 3 of you.
no. So there's 3 people associated with. I'm the only full time person, and
Mhm.
there's 3 people on my team,
Yeah. That's
including
awesome.
myself.
Yeah.
So there's 2 others. And pretty much the brains behind everything. The creative force, the strategist is all on me, and everything, and everybody else is sort of there to support me
Yeah, and help execute.
and help execute
Yeah.
exactly.
Did you get people with different skill sets from your own to sort of strengthen your weaknesses, or did you get people who have similar strengths to you who could kind of be extensions of you?
A little of both.
Hmm
Um, I mean, for the most part, the um, you know, my scheduler has been doing this for a very long time and has more experience in social media than I do.
hmm
As far as actual, not as far as strategy goes, but as far as um, working on it, working in social media
Execution, yeah.
execution. Yeah. So the uh, but for the and then you have, you know, my legal team.
Ah, yes. That is good to have.
And then the people who do the contracts and the LLCs and stuff. But
Nice.
payroll.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm always surprised by how many, well, I'm not surprised anymore because I've found out how common it is, but how many people come to social media from journalism. I mean, I myself, I did spend like 10 years in corporate marketing, not as a marketer, but as like working alongside the marketers. I helped the marketers and the creatives talk. So like I had that marketing background, but at the same time, not quite. But journalism in the newsroom was the first time I experienced social media as a professional tool because
Hmm.
it wasn't yet when I was in corporate life. Um, they had like just barely touched it, and so the newsroom was really a fascinating place. And it's amazing to me always how many people come to social media from journalism.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess part of it is that social media is a form of journalism, right? I mean, we're sort of
It's media.
communicating a message. We're seeing, we're sometimes documenting what's happening. Um, oh, that's right. Sorry to go back to the question I asked before, by the way. What do you do for your clients? Like, do you do
Oh,
full account management? Do you work with small businesses, big businesses?
yeah. So we're a full service agency.
Mm-hmm,
We have currently working with small businesses here on Long Island,
mm-hmm,
uh, and for no other reason the fact that this is where the need has been. It's not that I'm not open to larger companies that need my services, or it's just that this has sort of been the people who have been approaching me,
yeah,
and we've been killing it, killing it.
good.
I mean, I have one of my clients, Brothers Aluminum. They're a home builder, a home improvement company here in Long
Mm-hmm,
Island, and they've never received leads from social media before. And the reason why they're starting to now is because I've humanized them. All they've been doing is hiding behind their logo, which is a whole lot of text.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's just lots of words. Brothers Aluminum, and then there's more their slogan, and then they've been in the business for 40 years, and
yeah,
their logo is a whole lot of text. And I'm like, we need to get people out here. We need to show show what you do. Stop, there were, before we came on, they were treating all social media as their own personal billboard, and
mm-hmm.
nobody wants to see that.
No,
But once I started showing hammers hitting nails, once
yep,
I started showing videos of their finished products, high quality photos that they weren't getting before, things like you could actually see in like a real estate magazine,
yeah,
uh, their engagement started climbing. They started getting people actually talking. One of our most successful posts is the owner's kitchen, which they did, but
yeah.
it's a chef's kitchen, and it's everybody's dream kitchen.
Hashtag house porn.
Yeah, seriously,
I
I
have a
didn't
home
use that
Instagram.
hashtag, but yes.
Do it. It's a space. You know how like foodie Instagram is a
Hmm.
space? Home Instagram is a space. I have a separate Instagram account, the Nyack House. That's the house Instagram, basically.
Okay.
And there's such a community on there. People, anything visual like that people can kind of latch onto and desire. There's such a market for that, and the fact that you were able to take a home improvement company, which probably didn't see themselves as part of that type of sexy dream. They were like, we're aluminum. No, they are part of people's sexy dream. I mean,
They actually don't do aluminum. When the company started 40 years ago, they use aluminum, so they can't change
mhm,
the name anymore. But all they do is
man,
vinyl siding.
ha, why aren't
But
they the Vinyl Brothers?
yeah,
Because then people will think they're a record store or a DJ. All right.
yeah, that's actually probably true. No, so like, I have another client that's they're a law firm.
Mm-hmm,
You can't get more boring than law. I'm sorry, honey. But the what I do with them is I put them in front of a camera, and
mm-hmm,
they talk about what they do, and they give
mm-hmm.
advice on Instagram, and all the majority, the keystone of my strategy for them has been creating short videos, consumable videos that people who aren't lawyers won't just keep going, and they actually watch, about buying houses, about asset protection, about other stuff. And it's because it's their face and
Mm-hmm.
they're talking rather than a logo and some text, because
Yeah.
a lot of what their competition does is text overlays on stock photos. So
Those
no.
people only care about the thought leadership. Your people realize, or you realize on their behalf, that you also need the know, like, and trust factor.
Yep. And on top of that, what's great is that one of the partners said to me last week when we were having a strategy meeting that they haven't gotten any leads directly from social media specifically, mostly because I'm not at that stage in the strategy
Mhm.
yet for running ads
Yeah.
for leads. But what they've been doing is people who are already within their network are watching these videos and telling them, "Oh wow, I didn't know you do this. This person that I know needs that," and they've been getting clients from that. And it's getting harder and harder actually to schedule our content
Hmm.
creation appointments because they're getting so busy. And they
Yep.
actually ended up just hiring an associate attorney.
Nice. So they're
So
growing, you're
yeah,
contributing to their growth. That's an interesting thing about the ROI on social media. A lot of times it's not like leads are directly contacting them through social media, but the fact is it is all part of the brand building. It is all
brand
part
awareness.
of, all those touches. I had a
Exactly.
client also where we recently actually paused work because even though no one was directly coming from LinkedIn or directly Facebook messaging him, the fact is now his schedule is completely full. You know, I
Social
think I
social
think
ROI.
people see things, people hear things. When people hear about you via word of mouth, they're no longer going to just call you anymore. They're going to Google you, and this is what they're going to see. And you're helping make sure your clients have something good to show.
Yeah, let me
So
tell you
that's
something.
fantastic.
So I went in this. I'm not a traditional marketer. I do
Hmm.
not have the mind of a traditional marketer. I
Hmm.
don't think I'm the way that I like to approach what I do,
Hmm.
and I'm dropping something really big here for you.
Ooh,
Is
hit me.
so the way that I like to do this is don't be a marketer that thinks like a customer. Be a customer that works in marketing.
Ooh, I
So
like that quote a lot.
yeah, that's all me. I Googled it. It does not exist. It's all me. so
There's
so
nothing new under the sun, man. But
so we went and like when I was establishing my marketing philosophy and everything like that, I have not I've been seeing a lot of like my quote unquote competition in New
Mhm.
York. Everything's pretty much cookie cutter because it's built to scale. Yeah, I would love to scale. Who wouldn't? But
Mhm.
I also feel that right now, the reason why my clients are so successful is because everything's sort of custom created for them, and it's
Yeah,
made specifically for them to come off more human. And that's how I've always approached it.
and you can't scale human,
You can't scale human at
not
all.
yet, anyway.
And so my wife and I seem
I
to
was
be
about to
doing that
say
right
you are, yeah.
now. Scaling some more humans now.
Yes.
So we have no, but like that. So that's the whole thing is I'm doing this with no traditional marketing experience,
Hmm.
and then I come through and I read Marketing Rebellion from Mark Schaefer,
Yes.
and I'm thinking to my
Yes.
the most human company wins. Now, I may not have
Mhm.
put those words to paper myself, but this is basically that book has been a testimonial to how I've been running my company. And it was such a refreshing thing to actually be affirmed in my philosophies of marketing.
Hmm. That is huge. I love that. And we got to see him as the
Yeah.
closing keynote at Social Media Marketing World, which was
Yep.
spectacular. I hadn't read that one yet, but I'm going to soon. It's
Yeah, you
on
should.
my list. It's on my list. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
That was awesome. If anyone has any questions, let's use this last couple minutes for that. If anyone has any specific questions, but in the meantime, I want to let everyone know that next week's guests are actually on our comment thread here. I have Amy Tischler and Caitlin Jenkins from Simply Social in New
Oh, snap.
Mexico, and they're going to talk about how to create, local, how to do local, how to create community both online and real life in a local area, and they do that in Santa Fe. So let's see. Let's actually scroll all the way down. Tim says that being an actor director is actually fairly close to working in social media, which is true. It's all theater, really. And let's see. Amy's enthralled by your story, George.
Oh, Jesus, Amy, thanks. You guys are sweet.
Enthralled. What else do
So,
we have here?
so I kind of want to address what Tim said. Tim said,
Yeah.
I think that book shows how things are going. Personally, I think
Yes.
its full extent will only be in 5 to 10 years.
Let's hear about it.
I do agree with that on some points. However, where I was saying that it was an affirmation to how I've been marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So things like I'll tell you exactly where this began. So it was before the book came out. The first time I heard Mark Schaefer speak was at Social Media Marketing World 18, which is my first time going there.
Mm-hmm.
And he told the story of the hands that made them, which is he was talking about. He went into the bathroom and his friend didn't have Ivory soap. She had some local foo soap that was, you know, that cost an arm and a leg to
I
sell.
love local foo soap.
And yeah, so he came out and asked her, you know, why do you love this brand? And she says, I don't think I love the brand, but I love the hands that make them. And that was my biggest takeaway from Marketing World 18. And I went in and I told that to my clients, and I said, this is how we're going to succeed. Because we're going to show your hands. We're going to show how you do what you do. We're going to show you doing what you do. And the parts within Marketing Rebellion where Mark is talking about how things are going, what's been affirming for me is I'm not going down that route with my marketing. So when I market my clients, they're not doing what traditional marketing has been doing in the direction that they're going. And I already understand that the decision to buy has been made before the people even enter your sales funnel, which is why exposure, brand awareness, and brand building are so
Funnels
important.
are getting short.
Funnels are getting much shorter. And I'm actually seeing with my Facebook ads, I'm actually seeing conversions with cold audiences.
Yeah.
Only for the fact that I'm doing so well at brand awareness with my clients.
Yeah. Yeah, that is absolutely huge. And to the point of the hands that make them, I mean, I look at how my own spending has shifted, especially the more I've committed to my local community. I could go buy, 20 dresses at Old Navy for the price of 3 dresses at my local boutique. But at the same time, I trust the person who picked the local stuff out. I know her taste. I know her ethics. She runs her boutique with a huge consciousness of where the things she's buying are sourced and who's making them and the whole chain. And they're better looking and they last longer. But what it really comes down to is I initially wanted to support her. It's like I am willing to pay more and buy less in order to support someone who's doing something great.
Yep.
And that's really huge. All right. Well, we should move on with our respective days, but thank you so much, George. It was a joy talking to you, and we are actually working on a project together, you guys. So
it's a big project, big secret.
It's a big project.
It's not that secret, but
it's not that secret. We can say it.
Yeah, Christine and I are planning Social Media Day New York City 2020.
Woo! And here's the hilarious part: we didn't know each other, and until pre-Social Media Marketing World 2019 conversations. We were both at World 18, but we didn't know each other. We were talking to the same people.
Didn't know it.
Yeah. So we're talking to the same people before 2019, getting excited, became friends online. We didn't know until we were talking live, just like shooting the shit, random conversation at World 19 a couple weeks ago. Was it really only a couple weeks ago? Jeez.
Yeah.
That we each separately had been brainstorming on, putting together Social Media Day, New York City 2020 separately for like a year. Mm-hmm. So now that we're doing it together, it's happening.
Yeah. I'm really glad that for 2 reasons. I'm really glad that we had that conversation because one, the fact that now we're going to motivate each other to actually get it done. So rather than being like,
we have an Asana.
Yeah. We're on Asana. Yeah. So I'm like, rather than being like, okay, this is something I want to do, but it's not really my priority because I'm trying to build this agency.
Yeah.
Or you with your consultancy and stuff like that. And now that we're like doing this together, like we have like a partnership on it. It's sort of like we're really, going at it. And the other good thing about it is doing something like this is really stressful to take on yourself.
Yes. I'm simultaneously planning another conference, which is Social Media Day Hudson Valley. And that one also I have a partner with, my friend Linda Ray. Okay. She is definitely, I'm trying to link Social Media Day NYC on the thing. Yeah. Okay, there we go. People can follow it. It's on the comment thread now. There's nothing there yet. We don't have content, but the fact is you can follow the social pages for that. And, keep up to date when we have information.
Yep.
That's where it'll be. And we're going to have information really soon because we are on it, man. We are on it.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, making the website is not a high priority for me at the moment.
Yeah.
So we have the domains, but we're not. I'm not.
I can throw up a simple landing page. We'll figure it out. I'll show you what I did for the Hudson Valley one. Yes, Tim, the 2019 is the Hudson Valley one, and that will also happen in 2020, but that's in the fall. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Can we put a fist bump together? No, this way. This way. It's this side.
Wrong side.
I promise we'll be better at putting a conference together than at putting a virtual fist bump together. All right, so everyone make your plans to come to New York City at some point in June of 2020. We will have a date soon. We will have a date within the next few months, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the early phases of this. So
yeah, that there is more motion.
Stay tuned.
All right. Bye everyone. Thanks so much, George.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate it.